Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Tech Frenzy, Fintech Frenzy. We don't really know what to call it, but we are here. And B-Dubs has his wrench, and he's calling out Not a Lurker for not having a wrench. Oh my gosh. Jeez. Hopefully everyone's doing well. Unbelievable movements in the stocks today. We're actually switching over to Webull really quickly to show these performances off, because I noticed on a midstream that they're actually doing overnight pricing now, which is really fantastic for me, considering I always do my streams. Unlike today, actually, that was during the day, but they're doing overnight pricing now, so we'll be able to see a little bit of that 24-hour pricing. Green across the board for both SoFi and Hood, up to over $18 again for SoFi. Hood above $50 a share. Beautiful time. Beautiful time in markets. They don't come around every day, but when they do, boy, do we love it. Okay, let's jump into some of the actual news pieces today. We got a lot on Robinhood. We've got stuff on PayPal, but mainly it's a ton of stuff on just open tech news, open market stuff, as Trump takes sort of his full day in office today, making quite a lot of changes. B-Dubs says, congratulations on the victory lap. B-Dubs, so you officially got access to the Discord now that you've downloaded it. Did you ever get the chance to take a look at my full portfolio? What are your thoughts? I'd love to know what your thoughts are. Lisa, good to see you guys. Paul, great to see you. The wrenches are in. All right. Now, let's go ahead and start talking a little bit of Robinhood, because there was some fantastic news there. First off, let's start it off small, and then we'll continue to go in. But they delivered a lot of news today. One, hold on. Here. Robinhood crypto is now available in Spain. Okay, so they'll be able to trade, stake, and earn on or in Spain, which might actually increase the amount of volumes as well that is flowing through Robinhood. Who knows how quickly that they'll actually be able to get users there. They don't really break down their statistics on where their Robinhood crypto customers come from. So I'd be interested to know like how that breaks down, how much of it is actually international. I'm sure the high majority actually comes from, US still, but it would be really great to know if they are actually catching, additional traffic from these international places, because then we can really see if they're adding on new areas, how good that is for the business, right? And that'd be fantastic to know. But then there was even more on top of that. So for some lucky people, you guys ended up getting rolled out into index options early, but now they're rolled out across the board. So anyone that wants to partake in index options and don't just want to write options originally on ETFs that are sort of broad-based across these indexes and actually want to write them directly on, these exchanges and different sort of plays, then you can do that directly on these index options tools, okay? Hopefully that breaks out more revenue for Robinhood. Pushing even higher than $50 would be the plan. But boy, does $50 feel good, doesn't it? We're essentially hitting both triples, at least for me. It's, breaking a triple for Robinhood. But for SoFi, I'm right there on a triple for them. They just need to go up just a little bit more. This TGL match is the best one yet. Honestly, Rat Pack, I was watching it, and I had to be live, so I did turn it off. It's kind of boring. I don't know. I'm just not a golf guy, so who knows? Maybe you guys are, enjoying it. I find it whatever. Okay. Then this was a really interesting piece of news. I saw that Vlad Tenev showed off a picture showing off the top finance companies and their downloads on the list. So First of all, you have crypto.com there, you have Coinbase, you have Coinbase Wallet, you have PayPal down at 8th, Cash App down at 9th, ladies and gentlemen. Cash App at 9th, behind PayPal. I honestly think Cash App has like completely lost their way. I'm so glad I sold it. I'm sad that Steve got into it. All right. Now, number 1 on this list, however, is a company called Moonshot. And then I also didn't mention number 6 was Robinhood. Okay. But Moonshot is up there because people are wanting access to these Trump coins, different things like this. So it's a way to get access to just complete meme coin nonsense, stuff like this. But it's how do you get your deposits on to Moonshot, which is the interesting part. And one of the ways that you can do that now is through a little tool called Robinhood Connect, which maybe a lot of people may have forgotten about, but people at Robinhood have not. And the 20 million users will now be able to seamlessly deposit to Moonshot to be able to invest in Trump coin, Melania coin, whatever, and be able to use the Robinhood Connect tool, which they get paid for doing so, right? So there's all these different ways that Robinhood takes their fee that maybe people are not quite thinking about at first glance. So let's go ahead and take a look at that tweet from Vlad Tenev, because I find it interesting. He said number 1 and number 6 looking good. And this you can see is Moonshot at number 1, crypto, taxes, Robinhood into it, PayPal and Cash App. Jeez. Cash App like literally never used to lose its spot at number 1. Now it's like, even without all this stuff, it's just firmly above PayPal. PayPal has no reason to be above Cash App. There's reasons for all of these ones to be up here, right? Hot markets, crypto, taxes, these sort of things, those all make sense. PayPal above Cash App is just them being better. I mean, am I missing something? Maybe I'm not seeing something. Maybe I need to be corrected. I played Topgolf a lot, so I'm pretty into it. I like how loose the players are, not so uptight. Okay, cool. All right. Beat up, you said 200% gain or 200% year for SoFi. Are you talking about 2025? Are you saying that, what are you saying? Is that a 200% for you? I don't think it's been a 200% year, has it? That can't be right. No. Tanner, can you explain why Robinhood would not be interested in a bank charter? I mean, mainly it's for in going international. There's a lot of extra steps that you have to take to potentially put out new products, and it can sort of slow down their innovation. And the cost of them not having a bank charter is sort of nominal, at least for the types of products that they're in, right? If they were to get into more lending products, stuff like this, then obviously it would be a great benefit for them. But with the amount of uncertainty that they have with getting a bank charter, like if anything was to go wrong for Tanner, so you're back on StreamYard. Yes, they rectified the situation and sent me my money back. So thank you, StreamYard. Appreciate it. But maybe it was the tweet, maybe I don't know, but I was pissed. But yeah, so Robinhood, I don't think will actually be getting a bank charter right now. Now, SoFi, it means a lot for them to have a bank charter. They are a lending company through and through, which, by the way, like just goes to benefit them so much. And maybe we'll do a video this week talking about sort of how they can benefit going forward for like Q4 and what the difference between having a bank charter and not would be. Bank charter equals no crypto? Yeah, but that might not be the case. It actually might be bank charter is the only way to get crypto. Not the only way, but it would be the best way to get crypto, the cheapest way to get crypto. If banks can custody Bitcoin, they would actually become the custodians and the exchanges. Like, essentially the way that you get any sort of deposit account. So there was a change I was reading about. I didn't get all the way through it, but that they are looking at all these cryptos potentially having to just sort of report these as securities, and that they would have to go through, formal means to say, okay, these are the people who are setting it up. This is how the ownership breaks down. This is what we're looking to do. And the normal sort of risk and assessments that you would do, or giving a lot of disclosures to the investors that are actually trying to invest in those things. I think that might be good. Still benefiting off what crypto can offer, but yet being a little bit more formal and not so wild west. Taryn, did you see a Mitt may buy some SoFi before earnings? I doubt it, but it is very exciting what they're doing right now. I could see why. I mean, I did talk to him on the Robinhood weekly, which was the Monday before this, or sorry, just yesterday. And honestly, I put the case on him. I was telling him about the loan platform business, how essentially what happened in Q3 just changed the way that the business can be valued. Like, before, there was potential conversation to say that tangible book value can hold back lending growth. But after Q3, it's just simply not the case. We have as many partners as we could possibly partner with. We have, all of their capital. Okay? So there is no way to sort of be held back by that. James says, yeah, you sold it well. I hope so. Is PayPal a buy? Could you rank them long-term? PayPal, Nubank, SoFi, or Hood? Nubank, SoFi, and Hood are all extremely exciting to me. I don't think I could pick one. PayPal is not on that list for me. I think that PayPal is a good turnaround play, but they're not on that list for me. There's definitely a couple more innovative things that they can do that would potentially put them back on that list, and I can monitor their growth rates, but I'm not in it always for 8% growths. I do like what, Robinhood is doing and growing essentially double year over year. That's very exciting to me. Now, the reason why I'm in PayPal for these slow growth rates is because they were valued as if they were not growing at all, or potentially even growing negatively. So they were so cheap that it's worth a buy. And a lot of that is still actually the case. But you put that up against companies that are actually getting a premium, SoFi, Nubank, Hood, they're not on the same ballpark. Speaking of which, take a look at this. This came in today. Nubank reaches 10 million customers, doubling its customer base in 1 year. I don't know why. If this says anything about the coding of their app, I'm leaving. But stop doing this where you put your newsletter here that just cuts off everything. Anyway, Nubank has expanded its product portfolio, thus promoting financial inclusion in Mexico. 5 years after launching its first product in Mexico, Nubank announced today that it has reached 10 million customers in the country, doubling its customer base over the last 12 months. So in this new area that they've gotten into, Mexico, they've gained 5 million members over the last 12 months. SoFi could only dream. Okay. So this is the one thing that I think is crazy, is people discounting Nubank, saying that, because it's not an American company or something, that it's not worth any investment. Okay. One, over the next potential 2 years, they might be in the United States trying to gain customers there. Let's see if they can actually grow a customer base whenever competing with the big dogs of fintech. But even in these underserved areas, which is by far the majority of the populations with a ton of wealth, okay, not comparative one-to-one with the United States, but whenever you start grabbing the rest of the world where there is not a lot of competition versus these fintechs in the United States that have to compete with very strong competitors to sort of that's the thing, right? It's like SoFi, although doing so well, has to fight off Hood and Chime and PayPal and Cash App and all the other fintechs, for which there's hundreds, okay, and then fight off the big banks. Nubank is essentially going global right now in LATAM, but the hope is global. And And they are fighting off very weak, legacy institutions and almost zero fintech players. There are a couple fintech players. We cover them pretty extensively on this channel before, but yeah. Argentina soon. It definitely seems like it with Milei in office. I think that he'll, David Velez will be going there. I also think that, that's insane. 10 million just in Mexico. Great way to put it, Rat Pack. That's insane. We just started focusing on that. B-Dub's a little too bullish for me, bro. 5 million in SoFi in 2025. That's hefty. SR makes a really good point. Okay, if you are actually getting into country, US, Nubank, and looking for Latin American consumers, for which there's actually a pretty large Hispanic population in the United States, if you can build a really great way to transfer internally to other, Brazilian customers or Mexican customers, Colombian customers that are also using Nubank, they could have a significant advantage, much cheaper way of doing so, while also really taking advantage of like those built-in ecosystems and benefiting off things like people going and working in places like the United States to send money back to their home countries. Remittance. Sorry, that was the word. I was not. I was blanking there for a second. Guidance will let us know. It might. I don't think it will. I think guidance will probably tell us, 2.8 million or 3 million, and then they'll even blow past that. But they're usually pretty conservative on those types of numbers. So, I don't think. I hope we break 4 million, but I don't know if we will break 4 million. I'm kind of in the 3.5, 3.6 area. 5 million is a big stretch from that. I hope it happens. I do hope it happens. And if the macro keeps improving, it can be very hopeful. But yeah, if we get 5 million members, that's SoFi, that's SoFi $35 soon. Really soon. Okay. Didn't Noto say that they were looking to aim for 1 million members per quarter? Yeah, he said 800,000 to 1 million. He also said that a little bit ago, back whenever they thought that they were going to be a lot closer to 2 products per user, which hasn't quite gone the way that they've wanted to, I don't think. But we'll have to see. But even then, if you get 800, let's say it's 900,000 a quarter, that's what, 3.6 million? It's a far shot from 5. Hello from snowy Florida. Okay, let's see. Now, speaking of some benefits for PayPal, because I don't want to be bashing them in this video either, they did actually get some good news today. JetBlue is now saying just Venmo us. All right, we'll accept Venmo payments to allow you to book a flight on JetBlue. Very exciting, massive customer, lots of payment volume going through JetBlue each and every day. Wonder how many customers are going to start using Venmo. That's very exciting. As long as members don't leave and more merchants come on the platform, there'll be growth at PayPal. Now, take rate might fluctuate, especially if there's a crypto boon. There could be a lot of take rate fluctuations. And this actually really scares me, is I'm starting to hear about stablecoin conventions and stuff like this, where everyone's coming together to sort of say, hey, how are we going to really revolutionize payments in the United States and abroad, really? That's really the benefit of stablecoins, right? Is it doesn't see geography, it doesn't see borders, it just sees wallet to wallet. How does a company like PayPal do there? Now, they'll survive. They will adapt, of course, but that's still going to potentially greatly change the market shares of each company. And potential existing winners like PayPal could stay on top, but what will the take rates be during that time? What will the overall total revenue be during that time? How much will payment volume grow versus the deterioration of take rate? Will they still be able to survive that? So there's going to be a lot of questions for payments companies going forward, for sure. Plus ads revenue for PayPal this year, absolutely, absolutely. But I'm not anti PayPal. I'm just saying that it's not in the um, it's not in the guaranteed factor like I would put. Well, I should not say guaranteed at all. I'm very confident in the companies of Robinhood and SoFi and Nubank and stuff like this. The companies that just seem to execute rather than the ones that need to push something through. Yeah, this is what I'm saying. PayPal USD 100% is a thing, but even Dan Schulman said this is going to take the cost of payments down by or it's going to take it down from where it is to 1/100th of where it was. So 1% of what we were actually receiving before. So that might change the way that the payments industry takes revenue, you know? Which is also so amazing. You guys want to know like a really freaking fun way of thinking about payments is like, imagine a take rate of, let's say 3% on all money that gets sent through card programs, something along these lines. If that goes down, and I mean down, down, down with different innovations that are coming out like stable coins, it's just greater for GDP. Like think about GDP growth because what's happening in the payment sector. Okay. So it's better for every other industry that companies like MasterCard and Visa suffer a little bit. It's kind of amazing to think about. And that goes on to sort of my next topic of conversation, one that I'm extremely excited about. And we could talk about Netflix numbers and stuff like this. Very good quarter from them. Congratulations. I actually, like Amit did a post online and he said, this is bullish for cloud compute for AWS. And while I agree, they're a small portion of being 30% of the entire online internet flow, but still, it does show you that Amazon's not, Netflix is not going to be the only benefactor of their own success, and that Amazon is looking to benefit as well. But we need to talk really quickly about the Stargate project. Okay. So OpenAI posted about this. Trump posted about this. Larry Ellison posted about this. Masayoshi-san posted about this. Holy frickin' crap. The original $100 billion investment from Masayoshi-san quickly turned into a syndicate that is a $500 billion 4-year investment building new AI infrastructure in the United States. Now, this is private investment, which is very interesting because what's hilarious is that they keep touting this as some sort of government play, but it doesn't seem like it's so much. Okay, it seems like a bunch of private companies are coming together to say, hey, this is going to be the big push. What's very exciting about the government part of this is knowing that there's not going to be roadblocks in the way. Get out of our way. We are going to support you 100%. If you need areas to set up more data centers, if you need investments over here, like we'll help you set that up, potentially even on the energy side, right? Stargate is bullish for Palantir, Bay says. I mean, it's bullish for all tech, okay? One of the names that you'll notice in that for sure, which is the one that I'm going to be betting on during this time, is NVIDIA, okay? But another easy way, especially with these large tech investments, is that you can kind of pick away at these investments by many different proxies. So the cloud computing layer is an easy one. Everything is going to flow through that. I don't think that there's going to be a whole lot of AI innovation that's done on-prem. I know that, of course, there is going, like the Palantir bulls will say that that's not the case. There will be edge cases that still need to deploy really, specific software in sensitive areas. But the cloud compute area is really where I'm excited about as well. So you can look to Google, Amazon, or Microsoft to find good investments there. But holy, $500 billion with a government that is backing their pathway to success. AI is not over. This is like, you know what the dot-com bubble didn't have is the full-on government backing it with an unlimited budget. Now, or sorry, I shouldn't say budget. This is not their money, but with an unlimited laws and provisions that can sort of, set the path straight. So what's also funny is like everyone looks to Nancy Pelosi as one of the greatest investors of all time, or Paul Pelosi through Nancy Pelosi. And what's so funny about that is like, okay, well, of course you're going to see good investment. You're benefiting by setting the rules that these companies are going to benefit from, and buying those companies before you set those rules. But here we are in an environment where open markets exist for large tech companies, where you can buy these companies and the government is telling you they're going to back these investments. Is that not mind-blowing to you? You know? NVIDIA, Bay also says NVIDIA is the best recipient and still undervalued. I could not agree more. Holy crap. SR, I've also been hearing this a lot too, that on-prem is starting to be sort of a thing that a lot of people are doing to step away from cloud, but I actually don't think that that is going to be the case. I do actually think that cloud computing, just because the way that it's designed, right, the margins can fight to lower, if they feel like the overall market share of cloud computing is not growing fast enough, then they'll hurt their own margins to make sure that companies don't go on-prem. Like, it's just sort of, it's labor intensive to go on-prem. It's not labor intensive to go to the cloud. So I actually think that they just have an upper hand and will benefit from being, they can benefit on pricing until it's hurting their bottom line. But yes, I have heard that before. PayPal should buy Shift4. I couldn't agree more. I think that would be really smart of them. Rename PayPal Zettle to Shift4 and take over the Shift4 ecosystem. They could afford it. It's growing like crazy. Yeah. Capital cost is super prohibitive for on-prem if you're doing anything cutting edge, which is why cloud will win out, or at least for now. Yeah, it's also just super easy. Like, cloud is just super easy, instant, for any size. I don't know. They just have so many things going for them. I definitely would not bet on that trend. I have read about that though. I think Barron's put an article out about it a couple months ago. I thought there was a Barron's article that came out today. I was reading it and then I didn't copy it. I need to go back and see what I was reading today. It was really interesting. I don't know. Anyway, Ross Ulbricht got freed today. Can you believe that? Now, I don't know, because like Trump said something along the lines of, these deep state partners or whatever were trying to keep him, locked up and everything. But my understanding, and maybe this is my understanding because of someone else's misinformation, but didn't he pay to have people killed? But the people that he was essentially paying was government, sort of fakers, impersonators of assassins. If you guys don't know who Ross Ulbricht is, he was the creator of the Silk Road, the online dark web website that allowed people to buy whatever they wanted. So you could go on there and get any number of illicit drugs, transact in Bitcoin, and then, receive it via the post. He ended up getting caught There's a pretty good documentary on, I think it's called Dread Pirate Roberts, but that was his, um, online alias. But I think he got caught because he was using, or he went all the way back into some like hacker forms and put his personal email, but the alias attached to his account was still Dread Pirate Roberts at the time. And yeah, he was coerced. Yeah, but like, I don't know. Like, okay. I've never been coerced to murder. I don't know. I don't know the story about that. I've only seen potentially the one side where potentially they made him out to be a guilty party. So maybe I need to see a better side of the other thing. But and I read a couple letters because I know like he had a lot of family members who were like tweeting for him on his behalf, and he was, I don't know, crazy story. Regardless of the murder allegations, he still ran the largest illicit drug exchange in the world for like 3 years. Yeah. I mean, there was some of that too, but come on, that's, yeah, I don't remember. I remember reading the case for why he was like essentially an innocent man, and then it's all in my head, which is kind of scary, right? Is like someone can be a very big person, but people can fall out of history quite quickly. He'll be given TikTok. They should free the Tornado Cash guy got caught. Maybe if you told me his name, I'd recognize that, but I didn't realize that the. Yeah, Tornado Cash founder arrested. Yep. Okay. Back to business. Okay, let's do it. So the key initial technical partners for the Stargate project will be ARM, Microsoft, NVIDIA, Oracle, and OpenAI. I like those names. NVIDIA, sweet. What would be crazier if NVIDIA had actually acquired ARM and not got shut down? That would look even bigger. Oracle, man, I don't know. What was really interesting was listening to Trump actually talk about, the fact that Larry Ellison was part of this. He's like, oh, I can't believe he's caught up in this stuff, as if it was like, I don't even know if he knows what AI really is. I mean, he says it like it's like a weird hobby or something. Oh, he's gotten caught up in this stuff. It's like, yeah, he's running one of the largest technology companies on earth. Is he caught up in this artificial AI thing? Weird. But yeah, I one of my main principles are like the 25 things that I use, or the 25 point checklist that I use to invest, which I've got a lot to cover about that tomorrow, actually, for the course member only stream that happens after this one. That's Wednesday at 9:15. But whenever looking at a company, one of the main things that like make sure that you're not on the wrong side of this is government backing. Okay. And that doesn't need to be money. It doesn't need to be provisions. It just doesn't need to be on their bad side. So one of the ways that I would look at this is potentially like even solar. Solar is not necessarily in the bad graces of the United States government or Trump's administration. But whenever he's saying drill, baby, drill, it kind of puts the solar movement on a back burner if other sources of energy get cheaper. You don't necessarily need to go for the more expensive, but cheaper over time if you're getting cheap right now. How do you think SoFi will make use of AI in the future? I think that financial services products will get so personalized using people's own data, and I think that SoFi will be a big part of this. So I think Cash Coach, which is their new product that's coming out, will be the first step of this, of sort of looking at people's overall cash and debts, seeing what they're worth, what maybe they need to change, and then give them, you know, ways to potentially lower their credit card debt, but potentially getting a better personal loan, or just starting to suggest ways of just saying, hey, maybe if you just put a couple $100 towards this debt each month, then that'll go down better. So it will start with customer service, but it will eventually get to personalizing all products. Okay. I think it's hard to sort of put into words, but like when something just works, whenever you want something and you're trying to click the way that you want something to work, that it does just work. And it's very hard to code that in, and AI will be a big part of that. AI is coming to all SoFi products 100%. 100%. Yeah, it'll be in their risk analysis for sure. It'll be in their underwriting. It'll be in Galileo and their payments and fraud detection, and it'll be everywhere. But especially Cash Coach. Okay. What is your SoFi guidance growth prediction? What do you mean? Is there a certain metric you're wanting? Are you talking about 2025? What are you asking? And then I can try to answer that for you, because I did make a video on it, but we can do a little bit of that here. Yeah, AI will help with cross-selling. You think Robinhood ever makes a stable coin? So did you hear about the global dollar coin? Because Robinhood has already taken part in one. What's it called? Global dollar USD? Something like that? Yeah, found it. They've already taken part in this. So the global dollar network, if you scroll down and look at the companies that are taking part in this, Robinhood's already here. So they want to get in. It's obviously ran by Paxos. There's one page I remember seeing where they talk about the benefits of doing this, where they're going to take such a small percentage of the overall take rate, because these essentially just end up going and buying treasuries. So those take rates usually just go to the companies like Circle or Tether. But Paxos is sort of trying to make a big name for themselves, become one of the larger issuers by partnering with other institutions and taking a less of a cut. So Robinhood will be part of that and make some earnings back. Ooh, that's good alpha. I don't know. I thought it was well known, but maybe I'm just doing this every day. Yeah, Robinhood is taking part in a thing. Tanner, how do you use AI in your daily life right now? Just a lot of ChatGPT to help me think through things, I guess. I don't know. It's a hard answer to ask. Emails, food recommendations. Really, any time that I don't even use Google search. I pretty much just do everything through ChatGPT. Yeah, I'd say I'm a very regular user of those products. Break down, complex problems and stuff. I don't use the voice stuff. For a streamer, I actually don't have a very good, you know, way of talking. Like that, terrible. ChatGPT would have like killed me for taking that long pause. I'm actually not a good speaker, but hopefully make up for it for some of my ideas, maybe. All right. What was I getting back to? The full year forecast for 2025. What do you want to know? Year over year growth rates for revenue, 39.9%. So let's just round it to 40% growth rates for 2025. What else? Adjusted EBITDA, I think it breaks $1 billion, 58% year over year. Net income up 83% year over year, 418 million. 36 cents of EPS. If B-Dubs gets what he wants and we see 5 million new accounts, I mean, I'm sure we see a lot higher expectations, but I don't want to let what's going on in markets right now, which, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, we are now using Webull. I'll switch back over to Moomoo whenever they offer this overnight trading line here, but it's honestly very beneficial. It's just hard to switch between different ones because you get used to one and then another one changes. So I actually did like my setup on Webull much more, on Moomoo much more. But these overnight trading numbers are a lot of fun. So SoFi right now, 1803. Absolutely love it. HIMS 3019. Amazon up to 231.39 cents. And boy, oh boy, Nvidia up to 143.40. I liked it better when it was in the 150s, TBH. That's very funny, talking about AI and then Barnes and Noble in the same sentence. What's the one thing you'd like to hear about during the SoFi's conference call for 2025? I mean, EPS growth. That's what's going to drive the stock. Sales and marketing expectations, how much they want to spend, because it'll tell us how many members they actually think they're going to get out of that. Large potential contracts for Galileo. Not only do I want to see revenue growth, but I want to see per segment growth outlooks. I honestly don't even care about the quarter that much. I only care about guidance, because one quarter is cool. Like 3 months, sweet. 12 months of forward-looking earnings, that's even cooler. So I'll be happy to see Q4, but what I'm really happy to see is 2025. So yeah. Why don't you use a VPN to set up a Robinhood account? It's not that I need a VPN. It's that they ask me for a lot of stuff that I just can't give them, like social accounts and a residence for them to mail out stuff to me. Can't really give that information. Or a social, what do you guys call a social security number? For me, it's the tech platform details, says Paul and James. Both said tech platform. Tech and tech. It's weird. So how much money does the tech platform do now? 2024 will be 400 million. You know what's crazy is is the loan platform business going to do something along those lines in 2025? It's insane how big the loan platform business is. So honestly, the loan platform business is kind of taken over for what I am excited about. What's really exciting is using the loan platform business on Galileo to get applications from different fintechs and then underwriting it at SoFi HQ. That's super cool. That's like end game for SoFi. Tanner, I have over 5,100 shares of SoFi. You need to add more growth stocks. Which two do you see having the most growth besides SoFi? It's a weird question. I don't know your appetite for growth investing. With 5,100 shares, you can afford the growth investing course. Highly recommend that. I might tell you a lot about what I think about different growth companies. When is Tim Sweeney going to be a guest again? Hopefully soon. I can reach out to him tonight. I am in Canada, correct. Yeah, it's Monday, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to have a really fun day. Where do I live? Near Toronto. Toronto, Ontario. All right. Yeah, so here, let's see what else we have. Oh, you know what's really interesting was this article that came out. Oh boy. So everyone's talking about fintech just doing getting into consumer, trying to break into this part, low-end consumer deposits, not really going after big banking, JP Morgan is still safe. Morgan Stanley, Goldman Sachs, all these companies are still safe. But what if they're not? Okay. Now that one company is sort of really starting to beat consumer banking, another one that I think will be in this next to a high degree will be Nubank. As they've really, really penetrated Brazil, I think that they'll look to just go after the rest of the industry for financial services, and that'll be, banking the wealthiest people. Okay. So Revolut has over 50 million customers. For Nubank, that has over 115 million. Boy, oh boy, could they get into private banking. But how exciting is that? This is what it is, right? You disrupt one area of massive total addressable market, find a really good stand in that area, get the consumers, get the brand, get the profitability, and then get into areas for which you're not quite known as well as. Shopify being a great area, by the way. Tiny little entrepreneurs, get the tech super built out, then go after the big businesses, get all those D2C customers, then go after B2B. Okay. Then create categories in between, like B2B going D2C, and create new areas that cannot be done unless Shopify does them. That is cool. Yes, sir. I mean, it literally wouldn't impact me. It would not impact me at all. Are we getting up early Monday then? Yeah, I'll be up at 6:55 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Tanner, you'll be an American soon? I mean, I'm cool with it. I've got like all my money essentially in US dollars. And then the things that I did buy in Canadian dollars or that are associated with Canadian dollars is like this real estate. But if this becomes US dollars, like the real estate will just get priced in US dollars. I wouldn't care. What would be interesting is how the Canadian market changes. Because I don't know if you guys know this, but the Canadian real estate market is just insane. But if borders change, like, does that change the way that this real estate is even priced? Because there's a lot of money in Canada for its size, and essentially 50% of the entire population is sitting in like the most southern aspect, this little nook. But if those people are actually allowed to live anywhere else, because we don't want to go up, there's nothing upward. But down south, even further below, could be potentially better weather or other aspects. So I wonder how the real estate actually spreads out. So potentially on if I wonder if that's like something that I might do. Like if the talks start to get really serious, I might sell my house. That might be a thing. Okay, let's see here. Come to Texas? I mean, yeah, not anti that. Okay. Um, what are my other stories for the day? Any cool ones here? No, SoFi at $18, Robinhood at 50. Enjoy the days that are great. Okay. I'm going to be doing a new company DD every single week. I mean, full DD, breaking down the company. So they'll essentially take me a week to, um, to get into each of them. But they're exclusive at the growth investing course, which you can find at futureinvesting.pro. Okay. How do I find the growth investing course? Good question. Futureinvesting.pro. If you need to see the spelling or something, you can see it. It should just be right above my head, right there. And join the Discord. Great community, about 1,000 of us in there already. Just started a couple weeks ago. You just moved to the US? You can't do that. This is what Trump just complained about. You cannot just come. You can't just go down to the States, and I can only be there for less than half the amount of time of the year. You know? So, and then supposedly, I think like Trump's trying to like change the 14th Amendment. So you can't, like, even if a kid is born in the States, one of the parents have to be, uh, a either permanent resident or citizen for that kid to then become a citizen. So, yeah, that changes things. Want a green card? I know a guy. No, I'm gonna do it the legal way, but um, we'll get you in. Yeah, I mean, problem is this is all recorded, ladies and gentlemen. We're not having a private conversation. They know about our plot now. They're catching on. What is going to be crazy, ladies and gentlemen, think about this. As AI starts to not to scare everyone, but be scared, okay? If you have things on the internet that is posted anywhere at all, AI is going to be able to sift through your files like nobody's business, okay? Everything imaginable will get brought to light because AI will be able to find it faster than any human would have time to do so. Doesn't that make things crazy to you? Now, there's sort of two aspects that I think about this. One, it's going to change the way new generations put things on the internet. But also, two, I think a lot of people are human. And if everyone has skeletons in their closet, then no one is special, And then the cancel culture goes away because a lot of the people who were sort of pointing fingers at a lot of problems had a lot of problems themselves. And that if everyone sort of had, things like this, then they would just be like, I don't know. Depends on what the issue is, obviously. People versus their crimes will have to be held accountable, but things are going to come to light over the next 5 to 10 years. Probably more on the 10-year side because to start more broadly scraping the internet of all of its data, there'll need to be. However, there's already talk about like things with AI training that they're already coming up with synthetic data to train it with because they've already scraped through all, but blah. If I get a job, I can get a green card. Yeah, but that takes a lot of time, and I don't want a job. I like what I do. I just left, corporate work. Yeah. So I think I still have my license. I actually don't know what the status of my actual license is, but my uh, like stuff like E&O insurance, that all got wrapped up. So I think I don't have the license anymore. So cleaning your search history isn't going to do it. No, that's going to do it. No, I think search history is more for what you're viewing. I think AI is really going to find out what you've been posting. Why get a 9 to 5 when you could do YouTube from home? Exactly. Oh, you guys are too funny. It's gonna see what you're posting. Uh-oh. And but I'm not trying to scare you guys, but that includes everything that I'm saying on here right now, and it includes everything that you guys are commenting right now. Life's gonna get wild. It's gonna get wild, but whatever. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all so much for watching. Really do appreciate your time. It's been a pleasure. Love doing these streams. I love them even more whenever SoFi's at 18, Robinhood's at 50, and Nvidia's looking more beautiful than ever. Bye for now.